Ai, não, assim não dá. Isso, fica aí, fica aí. Fica quietinho. Sai de cima, gente. Tem que fazer... Ai, gente. Ó, vai ter até no... Ai, não. Ó, sujou um pouquinho aqui. Ai, não, vai pra lá. Ok, ok. Oi, neném. Peraí. Tchau, crianças. Acho que era pra eu ter feito separado, né? Faz tá aí rapidinho. Isso. Ai, gente, que sufoco. Ai, foi muito louca essa parte. Ai. Ai, não, tá muito perto, tá muito coisa. Eles ficam presos, é?
Acabou.
Fechado?
Fechado.
Fechado. Arrasou. Já. Vou lavar o negócio. Tchau, nenéns. Tchau, crianças. Ai, gente, que isso? Que fome foi essa? Que susto! E aquele negócio ali é só deixar funcionando. Que fome, hein? Ai. Tchau, crianças. Não quer nem conversa. Só comer. Ai, meu coração. Assustei. Achei que vocês iam acabar me comendo inteira junto com a ração. Ai, que susto.
Check.
Right through the shot.
Absolutely, Tim. Very exciting because this is our first time looking at the competitors. And a lot of times during check-ins, you get a chance to see who's really tense, who's nervous, who's not quite sure if they look great. And then you get to see some guys that are overly relaxed. They are joking around, playing around. Usually, those guys are relaxed that tend to perform better.
I never know quite where they are with that, whether they're tense or not tense. But I'll tell you this year, by the check-in pictures that have been happening over the last few days and weeks, the mission of conditioning will not be missed. These guys are diced in every category, every division. Men's physique is incredibly conditioned, but the men's bodybuilders this year are not going to be sweating it out on Friday night in prejudge. They're coming in hard and ready.
Absolutely. And Tim, I think the fact that competitors saw the previous shows, the New York Pro, the Pittsburgh Pro, the Arnold Classic, and they saw the quality of guys as Derek Lunsford, Nick Walker, Samson Dauda. This is not a Mr. Olympia that you want to miss your mark. If you miss your mark in this Mr. Olympia, you are going to end up in a placing that you never imagined before.
Well, we've got a lot of exciting stories throughout the weekend going into all the categories, but especially open. The battle between 4 Mr. Olympias that will be on that stage, including Brandon Curry. Hadi Chupan is don't count him out, don't count Derek out, and don't count Samson out. A lot of people jockeying, they've made their picks, but we've got some fun stuff. Behruz Tabani finally got that visa. He's here this weekend to see where it is he'll end up in the lineup. And Urs Kalachinsky. What do you think?
Well, I think Behruz Tabani is a top contender. I think Behruz Tabani is the real deal. He's won the Dubai Pro twice. He's competed against Samson Dauda. There's Behruz. Let's bring Behruz Tabani here. Azizam. We got Behruz Tabani in the United States of America. Come right here in the center.
You got your visa.
Right here, right here, right here.
All right. Behruz, how excited were you to get that visa?
Please, my
میگه هیجان زیاد داشته ویزاتون رو گرفتید.
بگین بله بعد 4 سال بالاخره تونستم ویزامو بگیرم و خیلی خیلی امروز خوشحالم که به آرزوی 20 ساله خودم رسیدم.
He said after 4 long years of waiting, he's extremely happy to be here. This was his dream from 20 years ago to be here.
We were so excited to hear that you got that visa. So, as all of us, as fans in the sport, we were so excited.
And Behruz, I want you to tell him that and tell to all the Iranian fans, in the last 2 years, it never felt complete. It never felt perfect. We were saddened, and a lot of us cried because we knew how much he was suffering. And when he steps on stage on Friday, all of us will be rejoicing a special moment. And on behalf of the Mr. Olympia and the IFBB Pro League, we love him.
ایشون میگه که تو این 4 سال قبل هر سال که المپیا بود جای شما خالی بودش. خب برنامه کامل نبود بین شما. حالا که بالاخره رسیدید اینجا هممون بی‌نهایت خوشحالیم. میخواد بهتون بگه که از فامیل کل IFBB و المپیا همه دوستتون داریم، عاشق شما هستیم.
بهشون بگین که منم خیلی ممنونم. این مثل خانواده خودم میدونم المپیا رو و واقعا از ته دل دوست داشتم که به این رویای بچگیم برسم که براش 20 سال زحمت کشیدم و این 4 سال به اندازه شاید بگم 20 سال من اذیت شدم. هر سال که صندلی خالی خودم رو میدیدم کلی اشک میریختم که چرا من اونجا نمیتونم حضور داشته باشم. و امروز بگیم بهترین روز زندگی منه که امروز تونستم اینجا حضور داشته باشم، خانواده بزرگ IFBB پرو رو ببینم، مستر المپیا رو ببینم و در اینجا حضور داشته باشم.
He says that everybody in the Olympia, all the IFBB people, you guys are all his family. He says that the last 4 years, he's endured 20 years worth of stress, and today is the best day of his life. He can't believe that he's here finally.
Well, I got to tell you, they're calling him at check-ins. We are going to be so happy. I'm going to cry when I see this guy on stage.
Good to have you. Welcome.
Yes, thank you so much. Let's bring Samson Dauda right there. Let's bring Samson Dauda. The Mr. Olympia has arrived. The Mr. Olympia has arrived. He was right there trying to intimidate some of the other competitors. The Mr. Olympia, the 19th man, has arrived. Samson Dauda.
Okay, you have been one of the best ambassadors in the sport as Mr. Olympia we've had in a really long time. What was the year like?
It's been amazing, man. I mean, it's been a dream come true. Like, this is something we all have dreamt about for years. And you sort of have a vision of what you would like to do if you were ever in that position and if you're blessed with that opportunity. So when it came up, it felt like, man, okay, it was more than I expected it to be. And my life completely transformed overnight. And I still remember this moment just this time last year. It feels like it was yesterday. So just looking back at everything, I was like, man, I just want to thank bodybuilding so much because it literally changed my life.
Samson, you are the Mr. Olympia. And historically speaking, the Mr. Olympia repeats the title. That has to be the tendency. We've had Arnold Schwarzenegger, Dorian Yates, Ronnie Coleman, Lee Haney. Most of the times, the Mr. Olympia retains the title. How do you feel about this lineup? Great competitors, Hadi, Derek, Nick. How do you feel? Are you going to beat them all?
Well, I'm ready to retain the title.
So the thought is with you, and I'm just going to make it with you, but a lot of people, it's not this way because it has gone 4 different ways in 5 years. They say with Samson's structure, the size you put on, if you come in conditioned, it's lights out.
I mean, that's what I think, you know, they say my destiny is in my own hands. I'm probably the only guy in that top 4 that all I got to do is control my own events, and that's it. I don't need to worry about anybody else. If I focus on me and focus on bringing my A game, there ain't nothing anybody could do about it. And that, for me, is a real driving force.
Well, guys, Samson Dauda has been a tremendous Mr. Olympia. I've traveled with him in Brazil, in Romania. People absolutely love him. He's expanded the sport. He's very charismatic. His wife said, Tarek, I'm going to bring him his best. Mark my words. And Marlena said, his posing will be epic. We are going to be talking about Samson Dauda like we talk about Muhammad Makawi after this Mr. Olympia. So I know Marlena is coming after, and she wants you to deliver a powerful performance. Congratulations. I know they're calling there. Congratulations on a great year. You are Mr. Olympia.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You know I'm a fan. I'll see you in a day.
Oh, see you in a day.
Yeah, see you in a day.
Yeah. Let's bring in Bob Ciccarillo. Bob.
The voice of bodybuilding.
Hey, Bob Ciccarillo, we want to talk to you a little bit. We're going to bring here Nick Walker. Actually, I'm going to leave because I'm going to bring in Nick Walker myself over here. Right. So have you pumped up? Are you ready for this? This might be even more exciting than the Olympia. Hold the mic and be ready for it.
Hold it nice and high, Bob. The antenna's on the bottom.
Here we go. Yeah,
Way up high. They
one of these
I know, but they changed it on us. We got to hold up high. Yeah, Tarek doesn't know. There we go.
He doesn't know.
So, I am with one of the most controversial people in all of bodybuilding. Apparently, when did that happen?
Well, apparently having an opinion is something that is frowned upon these days.
People are so touchy now.
What's interesting is we've been doing this for 25 years, so it's really nothing new to us, but that's what we do. We critique, we give opinion, we do analyzation, and that's what we do, competitions, right?
Well, a lot of guys get ready for cruises or family reunions. They want to look their best. You look your best this year. You look like you got ready to be the MC this year.
You know how it is, UMC as well. So you got to be in shape. It's a stamina thing, Tim. You got to keep it up. It's the Olympia time. So, listen, all eyes are on Las Vegas this weekend. The best of the best once again converging for the title of world's best. Personally speaking, listen, every year is the best, right? Because it's a new year and you've got new storylines, and we've got a whole bunch this year.
It's funny you should say that because there's so much of this glory days, 90s, 2000s stuff, but there's been years where it hasn't been deep.
True.
I want to say this year, going into Friday and Saturday night, this might be the deepest lineup of quality that we look into 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th and think, wow, every one of these guys is in their top condition ever, and they're completely conditioned. They're not pouring water on Friday night. They're not running out with a mop. These guys look, by their check-in pictures, like they're going to come dialed on Friday night.
Well, and in addition to that, Tim, when you start talking about depth, this year in particular, the top 6 could go any way.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had, 5 champs in 6 years, I believe, or something thereof. We've never had that in the history of bodybuilding of any modern era. There's always been kind of a favorite or, a 7-time, a 6-time, an 8-time. We don't have that. We got a 1-time right now. And then you've got a whole bunch of other guys who are right in there, including 3 other Olympia champs also that will be on the stage. So you've got Hottie, you've got Derek, you've got Brandon Curry. So you've got 4 Mr. Olympias that are up there battling as well. But that top 6 can go anyway. Once you get past 3 or 4, it's the Wild West, man. Anything can happen with any of these guys. They're that good.
You had the wild card last year with Martin Fitzwater.
Yep.
This year you got Beirut Tabani, who got his VC.
Finally.
Andrew Jacked could be anywhere any given day.
Right?
Depending on his conditioning, he could go anywhere. And then you got a few other guys that could pop up there.
Well, listen, and that's why I say when you talk about a top 10, there's legitimately about 15 guys that can be in the top 10. That's bad news for 5 guys because, as we all know, you can't all be in the top. So the judges are going to have their work cut out for them. But you're going to see a separation of church and state real quick when that first lineup gets called out by Big Steve, because the guys who are in shape initially are going to get that first look. If you're out of shape here at the Olympia, and we're keeping things in context when we say out of shape, when you're out of shape for an Olympia stage, you're going to get relegated into that third call-out real quick. But those first 2 call-outs, boy, that's going to be a tough one.
And you've seen over the years, it is possible to battle your way out of the second call-out back up into that top and to be mixed. One of the things I love with Big Steve is he doesn't call them out first, second, third. You know where they are. He'll work first, second, and third. And I think this year, he's going to have a 4th guy out there and play kind of a Rubik's Cube with them and keep them middle.
Attention, everyone.
So we have no idea what's going on.
Well, you've got some guys who are literally on the bubble that could go anywhere from into the top, contending into the top 3 to a 6th or 7th place finish, including our good buddy Nick Walker. You've also got Rubio making his Olympia debut. You talk about freaks. I mean, he is the freak of all freaks.
Neckzilla.
Neckzilla, as it would be. He will have the biggest neck on any Olympia stage ever. All credit to Jeff King from years ago.
And then you've got some other categories throughout the weekend, like Classic Physique, where Bumstead has ceded his title to retire and go home and be a father and start a business. And that could go anyway. That's interesting. Some of these guys, they said Mike Sommerfeld was the heir apparent. And I just saw Ramon Dino at Derek Lunsford's gym last week, and he looked spectacular.
Well, Mike Sommerfeld just might be at the height of his career, Tim. No pure pun intended, of course, my friend.
Trolls.
As we've got Hairgate coming up here. How tall is Mike? We don't know. We're going to find out when they do the official height. But it does bring up an interesting premise, though. Let's just say, hypothetically, he's not as tall as he was heighted into that last competition for whatever reason.
AI, apparently.
You got all that, Chat GPT. There's all kinds of wacky stuff going into this thing. But it does bring up a good hypothetical, which is, well, what if he isn't? What happens? Well, he could still make it for whatever height he is. He would just probably have to be about 6 or 8 pounds lighter. That can change a whole bunch of dynamics. But when you've got guys like Logan Franklin that are on your butt, you've got Terrence Ruffin that's in there. You've got Ramon Dino, who's been a perennial, right, to seed bum. So whose time is it to shine? And if Sommerfeld's in there, he's going to be the guy because arguably he had some first-place votes last year.
I saw Logan and Terrence at the Lee Labrada Classic. They were doing a beautiful Classic Physique, just an art piece. They came out with the top lighting and the dark, and they were stunning. And then I saw Logan when he qualified for this event in Sarasota at the Florida Pro, and he looked really good.
Well, I tell you, all those guys look good. Two of the best posers in the biz, of course, in Terrence and Logan. So you're fighting for supremacy of the art of display. Milo Sarshev would be proud. But you know a name that's not on everybody's radar, but my dark horse pick to do better than anybody expects? Matt Grego.
Matt Grego, I knew you were going to say it.
Matt Grego.
You know what? We got the ladies' events coming up, too. And 8-time Miss Olympia, Linda Murray, coming in.
Murray, that sounds
all right,
so
here I
it's
am,
Linda
guys.
Murray, everybody.
So come around on this side.
What's
Look
up,
at
champ?
you.
That's right. I'm
Wow.
here.
Man,
Thank
you look Olympian. Look at you.
Oh,
All right.
yes,
We're going to
honey.
step up.
I got to bring it.
Just don't age.
No.
Yeah,
Man, but you see your reflection in the mirror in the morning?
Oh.
Something's going on there.
All right,
yeah.
we gotta
Just
ask you.
Living a healthy life.
So the women's check-ins are tonight as well. Friday night is women's
Yes.
night, is ladies' night. You got women's bodybuilding.
Yes.
Who is nipping at Andrea Shaw's heels?
Always Angie Yo. I mean, Angie Yo is incredible. She brings amazing conditioning. I saw her at the Olympia battle. She's put on size, and she's just as conditioned as she was in the previous years when she won the Rising Phoenix.
I was going to ask.
Absolutely. So she's bringing it, no question about it. Natalia Kovaleva. She placed third at the Rising Phoenix. So she has some time to get, much more condition. But I'm telling you, Andrea Shaw, amazing. I think she's on her way to her 6th.
Okay, Bob and I just talked about Classic Physique, how that's an open title.
Mm-hmm.
You got women's figure is open now with Sydney Gillen stepping down.
Yes.
So
I just had a long conversation with Jessica Reyes Padilla, and she just said, for her, what do you think? She says, I've been in second place the last 3 years. So for her, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Sometimes the no-brainers are the most interesting competitions because sometimes the heir apparent isn't the one that gets there. Not to put any jinx on her.
Sure.
But you got Lola, and she ain't no showgirl.
Yeah.
Right?
well, you got a couple others as well that are not going to let it be the heir apparent. They're stepping up.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see who rises to the occasion Friday night.
And a newbie, don't forget, and Missy Truscott.
Yes.
How about that?
Oh, there's the story of the weekend right there.
And she took home 2 IFBB Pro titles to qualify, 2 figure titles to be here tonight.
And I bet fitness is basically figure with a routine.
True. Yeah.
But it's gotten bigger, and she got bigger, and I think she is really...
I actually wanted her to go into women's physique. I was trying to talk her into it last year when she said she wanted to continue on in a different division. But she opted to go in figure. Listen, clearly she does well there, too. Is she a top 5 girl? Absolutely. I don't think there's any question that she'll be in there.
Yes.
The question is can she contend against the 2 top finishers in Lola and Jessica?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, Lola is bringing it. We just saw Lola. She won Pittsburgh. Amazing condition. She's been so focused, turning down interviews. Lola is a force to be reckoned with.
Now, another division, two of the competitors that are not fans of each other. There's a lot of camaraderie in some of the divisions. Women's physique.
Yeah, women's physique.
Sarah
Oh,
Villegas not so much. Sarah Villegas and Natalia Coelho. Who's going to win this year?
Yes, okay. Well, I saw Sarah this morning in the gym. Sarah looked fierce. Sarah Villegas and my co-partner over here, Wendy Fortino, she's got something to say about this.
Come on in, Wendy Fortino.
So, Sarah Villegas and Natalia Coelho. Did you see Sarah this morning?
First of all, Sarah and Natalia, this is like the fiercest battle. I think this is what all the fans are just at the edge of their seats wanting to know about. And honestly, it could be either one. They both bring their strengths, and neither one of them have weaknesses. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It's not exactly a rubber match, as obviously Sarah has kind of taken the lead. But I got to be honest, I had Natalia winning last year. A lot of people did. It was very close. But they have two different physiques, clearly two different physiques. So the judges are going to have their work cut out for them because all Natalia does is keep coming back a little bit better than she did the previous year. I wouldn't be surprised if it went either way.
I wouldn't either. Now, another one that could go a lot of ways this year, women's wellness. Isa Pereira won last year. Eduarda Becerra is not going down easy. I saw her a couple weeks ago at Derek Lunsford's gym. She looks incredible.
Yeah,
Wendy?
this is going to be interesting. What
This
do you
is
have
real-
to say? We
Now,
just
you're definitely more
interviewed
the
both
wellness expert than I am.
Yes, let's take the
Yeah,
microphone.
we just interviewed Isa
So-
and also Eduarda.
We did.
We had an
Well,
interpreter.
Well, we have decided that we need to learn Portuguese because all the stars are from Brazil. We had Eduarda Becerra and we had Isa Pereira. They are both fierce. They're both such sweethearts, though. I just know that whoever wins, they're going to be cheering each other on. But we have some other women that are coming up that we need to be keeping an eye on. We have Giselle Machado. Who's
Giselle.
just won. She's looking incredible. But honestly, I just saw Isa make a post on Instagram, and her glutes look insane right now.
Oh, really?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, they look amazing.
Everybody knows glutes is the name of the game, Tim, when it comes to wellness. But these girls train hard. I mean, they are in the gym just hitting it all year long, much like the bikini girls. They don't get enough credit for how hard they train. Only one thing can be for sure, Tim, and that is there's nothing half-ass about wellness.
Oh, yeah,
There is
no.
nothing half-ass about.
No, and that's
going to
the
be on a
truth.
tattoo somewhere.
They have legs that women bodybuilders would die for.
And men bodybuilders as well.
Yes.
If I had those legs, I'd be classic physique and not men's physique.
You'd be counting like this.
One
Well,
thing,
we're looking forward to the women's wellness on Friday night and fitness. We've got another year with an interesting mix-up in
Ooh.
fitness.
Yes.
It is going to be
new.
Yes, it will. Well, you know what? Taylor Larchmont.
Taylor Learmont.
Learmont, sorry.
Taylor.
I want to say Larchmont. Learmont.
No, yeah.
All right, the little one.
She
I'll tell
was.
you what.
Hey, listen, Bob, did you see her conditioning? She won the Rising Phoenix, and she has brought her physique up. She's brought her physique up. When she turned to the rear, she has incredible shape, incredible structure. You could really see a lot of definition in her hamstrings. And let me tell you, and her routine was phenomenal.
Her routines, like 2 years ago was the year she made her big debut and blew everybody's mind. She showed up, they had no idea where she came from, and it was part of the recruiting process. Who recruited her? Was it Whitney?
Yeah.
Somebody was out recruiting new fitness competitors, and
But I tell you what, you're right. She had to bring her physique up, and Linda, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
She's done just that. She's kind of put it in overdrive. But I tell you what, she's very reminiscent to me of Kelly Ryan years ago in terms of where she is in her routines and her development. She is so far ahead of the pack.
Yes.
She kind of turned it down a notch last year, which was really interesting to me because
Yeah.
I was kind of waiting for some of the stuff she did the year before, and she didn't do it.
Yeah,
You're going to see that this year.
She had a couple of hiccups because immediately after what you didn't see, Bob, we were backstage and she was in tears because she did not perform her routine to her level and what she's used to. But what I saw at the Rising Phoenix and what I saw as far as her physique on stage, if she could place second, because where did she place last year? Second or third?
third.
She was third. If she can place third with the hiccup,
yes.
then can you imagine what we're going to see?
Well, yes, I agree with you. Jacqueline Baker is here for blood.
now I was going to say she was third behind Jacqueline Baker, was she not?
She was. Jacqueline Baker was second, and Jacqueline Baker won the Arnold. And I saw her earlier. I talked to her earlier, and she has this fierceness in her eyes. Like, she is here to take it all. And there's something about, and Linda knows, that champion's spirit, when you come and you're here to do work and you're here to take what's yours, that's the energy that I saw from Jacqueline when I saw her earlier. So
now I saw her come in, and Bob knows this term from his days on the pro stage. Linda, Wendy, she's got the death face right now.
Got the death face. And I did
That's how you know.
I did talk to Taylor throughout the year, and I did remind her, Tim, there is no crying in bodybuilding.
Oh, you did? You did? Okay. Yeah, yeah.
But when that face comes in, we saw a few of the people come in, men and women, just drawn, and that's how you know they are dialed in.
The Walking Dead.
That's suffer. Listen, you got to suffer. Okay, there's no easy way around it. You know, we all know that as competitors. If you're not suffering at this level, you ain't winning.
Yeah.
Nobody just eases their way into an Olympia victory. It just doesn't happen like
So
that.
when you see a bodybuilder come in with these beautiful, glowy, puffy cheeks, you just know it's not their day.
They're in the last call out.
Yeah. And you know what's really amazing? I mean, the fact that the athletes are here right now, we know exactly what they're going through. How many days out? Because the athletes here today, they're going to be on stage on Friday. And we know what that feels like as far as like the water manipulation, the carb manipulation. Like they're like waiting, and they can't wait to go bunker down in their rooms.
You know, this is an interesting dichotomy when it comes to, you know, you're talking about the carb manipulation, the water manipulation, all the protein, that's all that stuff, right? Here's the problem. More physiques will get ruined over the next 48 hours than they did in the previous 12 weeks of preparation, where most people shouldn't be doing any manipulation. They should really just be kind of, we always use the analogy of landing a plane.
Absolutely.
Nice and easy, land that soft landing right into the show. The problem is a lot of people don't do that, whether you got a coach, they have their own program, but they all of a sudden they make all these changes in the last minute. And listen, I've been
You're
there,
right.
okay? I blew years in the amateurs doing exactly that, thinking if I could just get that little more. You got this vision of going out there in the front row, looks like they're watching a horror flick as you sit there and hit shots, and all of a sudden it don't look like that.
Yeah.
What you look like coming there look better than what you got on stage. And Sunday, of course, everybody looks great.
Yeah.
That is the problem. There's only a few people that are called Mr. Saturday Night, and everybody else is Mr. Sunday Morning. There are a lot of bodies, Bob, you got it, that they say Wednesday, Thursday, they start pulling some magic tricks. You know, we're going to have a sushi dinner and a hamburger and all this nonsense. When you lived on tilapia and chicken for 12 weeks and you look the best you're ever going to look on Wednesday, there's no magic.
Nothing different should take place in the last 48 hours. If you haven't been eating it in 12, 14 weeks, you shouldn't be eating it in the last 48 hours.
Yeah.
And you really shouldn't be eating anything backstage.
That's true.
This is where it's blown. If you see everybody stuffing their face, not everybody, but some people. Here's the problem. The minute you cut off water, there goes the transport system.
Yeah,
Whatever you're
I
eating
agree.
ain't going anywhere except right here.
But one thing that I will say is this thing that makes the Olympia weekend so different for all these athletes is they're used to coming in, being, solitude by themselves in their hotel room. But the difference is you're a champion. You come here as a champion and you have responsibilities. You do your check-in, you meet and greet your fans. You have to be on your feet a lot. You have to do a lot more responsibilities that a lot of the pros in the IPB don't have to go through. So for an athlete coming in their first experience, it is quite the experience to do your check-in, to be on your feet, to go to all the events, to make sure that you don't miss any of the events. That's what makes this so unique and different for the athletes.
Well, and you can probably all attest to that. We've only got a few new athletes this year, and in that top few, that first through fifth, it's a lot of the old faces that have worked their way up to be in those top fives. But there's a mystique. How afraid, each of you, with your first Olympia, you get here that first time, how overwhelming and daunting was the premise of even being here?
Oh, man, it was – I just remember just being in stars the whole time. And I was very stressed out about being at the meet and greet and knowing that I had to be there till 10 o'clock at night and get up super early in the morning and go to prejudging. I'm like, how am I going to do this? It wasn't something that I was used to or knew. But then, by the 8th time, I got used to it.
And then, Bob and Linda, I'm going to ask you this question, a little different. Who were the mega stars when you debuted that you thought, that is too much competition?
Well, to London, I can answer that for her. Nobody. She came in there and just blew everybody away for 8 years. But for me, I had a whole bunch of monsters back then. I had Ronnie. And interesting, Ronnie, because they do it alphabetically in the order. Me and Ronnie were always next to each other. And I always thought to myself, well, can't you put anybody else next to this guy? Why do I got to stand next to him? But, I had Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler and all the superstars of that time. Marcus Rule, I got that beast next to me. So, we had some competition back then.
Linda, Real quick, who was it for you? And then I got to toss it up to the stage.
Oh, wow. Well, for me, it was just really weird because Corey Everson retired in '89, and that was my first Olympia, and I won my first Olympia. So it was a totally different situation.
So Bob was right. It was domination.
It was about, dominated, guys.
It's going to be an amazing weekend, both Friday and Saturday night. We're going to get to the athletes meeting. We're going to be hearing from Caden Tamer, Dan Solomon, and Jake Wood. Enjoy this, and we'll be back after you hear from them. Killer, everybody.
All right. No, it worked better because there was no way to really.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Caden Riley. I am the associate producer of the Olympia weekend. I wanted to welcome you guys to the athlete meeting. This athlete meeting kicks off the weekend. It is a privilege and an honor to welcome you all to the greatest bodybuilding event in the world. Before we begin talking about all the credentialing and scheduling for the week, I would like to introduce the president of the Olympia, Dan Solomon.
Thank you, Kate, and thanks for everybody for coming out. When I was walking in, I had a chance to talk to a fan who had come in he was from Germany, and he had told me he was probably about 50-something years old, and he had told me that he had waited his entire life to be able to come to an Olympia, and he had saved his money, and he brought his son with him. And he was talking about how it's the realization of a lifelong dream to one day make it here to experience the Olympia and to connect with it and to meet all of his heroes and to be inspired and to pass it on to his son. And he spoke with such depth and such emotion, and it was one of those moments that really reminded me how special all of this is. And while we are all very close to it, every one of us in this room spends every day on this, it's easy to forget how much it means to everyone else. So I say that to you because as you're going through the weekend and you're preparing for battle and you're engaging with the fans and you're walking through the expo and you're doing all the things that you guys do as the representative best in the world, it's my hope that you'll remember that fan, right? The one who flew around the world and probably spent more money than he should have to get here, bought a ticket,